Welcome to Texas Marks the Spot, where we delve into mysteries, legends, and tales that blur the lines between history and folklore. For our very first episode, I thought it was only fitting to start close to home, Austin, Texas. A city known for its live music, eclectic culture, and of course the motto, keep Austin weird. But here's something most people don't associate with Austin: buried treasure. Would you believe that right here in the heart of this vibrant city, some say there's a stockpile of Mexican gold hidden away, guarded by a curse and shrouded in mystery? It's a story that begins almost 200 years ago with betrayal, murder, and just enough tragedy to keep treasure hunters coming back for more. Our tale begins in 1836, during a turbulent time in Texas history. The Alamo was calling and Mexican troops were on the move, but among them, a general, his paymaster, and a handful of soldiers had other plans. Instead of delivering funds to their troops, they decided to make a detour, stealing the entire cache of gold intended to pay the soldiers. Their plan was bold: hide the funds in a remote area and return for it later. But as you might expect with a story like this, betrayal was brewing. Two of the soldiers began plotting a double cross. On a quiet night, while the others were sleeping, the schemers struck. They executed their companions, and to ensure no one else could claim the treasure, they poured the blood of their fallen comrades over the loot, a gruesome ritual meant to curse and protect it. With the deed done, the two remaining conspirators carried the gold to what is now known as Shoal Creek. There, under the canopy of a massive live oak tree, they walked 125 feet north and buried their treasure. Once the map was drawn, one soldier decided he didn't want to split the bounty either. He killed his last companion and slipped back into the ranks of the Mexican army unnoticed. Years passed, and though he never dared return for the treasure himself, guilt eventually caught up to him. In his old age, he confessed the tale to a priest in Mexico, including details of the treasure's location. The confession set off a chain of events that would make its way to one of Austin's most famous residents, William Sidney Porter, better known to the world as O. Henry. In the 1890s, O. Henry, a budding writer, heard the tale of the treasure from a farmhand. He tracked down the person who heard it firsthand as a boy, a shepherd, who was now an old man himself. The shepherd claimed he could retrieve the map for a modest fee of $100, which today would be roughly $3,000. O. Henry, intrigued by the story and the potential fortune, agreed to pay what he had in his pocket, a $20 bill, and would complete the sale upon delivery. After some haggling and negotiation, the shepherd traveled back to Mexico, promising to return with a map. Weeks turned into months, and O. Henry finally received word that the shepherd had fallen ill. The shepherd's son, however, assured him that the mission would continue if O. Henry would just send a little bit more money. Despite warnings from his friends that this was likely a scam, O. Henry sent the funds. To his surprise, the son eventually arrived in Austin, map in hand. The map indicated that the treasure, 16,000 doubloons, valued at over $8 million today, was buried near Shoal Creek, about 125 feet north of an oak tree with wings carved into the trunk. With great excitement, O. Henry and a group of friends followed the map to what they believed was the spot. They found a massive live oak, just as described, and estimated the position of the treasure. To avoid drawing attention, they returned under the cover of night and began digging. But as they worked, an eerie, unearthly screaming erupted from the surrounding woods. Startled, they drew their pistols and waited, but the woods fell silent. Cautiously, they resumed digging, only for the screaming to return louder and more terrifying than before, and coming from all directions. The group, unnerved and fearing the blood curse, abandoned their efforts for the night. The next morning, the truth behind the haunting emerged. A patient had escaped from a nearby asylum. When his pursuers caught up to him, he screamed. The guards then screamed back in an effort to startle the escapee into submission. The terrified man's shrieks echoed throughout the woods, frightening O. Henry and his crew. Emboldened by this explanation, O. Henry and his friends returned to the site. But their efforts came to a disappointing end when they hit solid limestone bedrock, dashing their hopes of uncovering the treasure. O. Henry lost faith and walked away, leaving the mystery unresolved. But the story doesn't end there. O. Henry's fascination with the Shoal Creek treasure didn't just inspire his late-night digging adventures. It also made its way into his writing. In fact, one of his lesser-known short stories, Bexar Scrip No. 2692, is thought to have been inspired by this very legend. In the story, O. Henry weaves a fictional tale of treasure, betrayal, and intrigue in Texas. Here's a brief excerpt. It is a well-known tradition in Austin and vicinity that there is a buried treasure of great value somewhere on the banks of Shoal Creek, about a mile west of the city. Three young men living in Austin recently became possessed of what they thought was a clue of the whereabouts of the treasure. And Thursday night they repaired to the place after dark and plied the pickaxe and shovel with great diligence for about 3 hours. At the end of that time, their efforts were rewarded by the finding of a box buried about 4 feet below the surface, which they hastened to open. The light of a lantern disclosed to their view the fleshless bones of a human skeleton with clothing still wrapping its uncanny limbs. They immediately left the scene and notified the proper authorities of their ghastly find. Despite O. Henry's literary take on the tale, the legend didn't fade with him. Over the years, others have been lured by the promise of fortune only to meet tragic ends. In one particularly heartbreaking twist, a Travis County treasurer in the early 1900s fell victim to a fake map scam. Desperate to recover the money he had embezzled to fund his search, he realized the game was up and took his own life in his office. The lure of treasure is powerful, whether driven by financial desperation or the sheer thrill of the hunt. But as this story reminds us, fortune-seeking often comes with a price. Curses or no curses, tragedy seems to follow those who chase legends too closely. Yet the legend of the Shoal Creek treasure remains alive. Some believe the gold still lies buried beneath the limestone, waiting for the right person or perhaps the right moment to reveal its secrets. So the next time you stroll along Shoal Creek, take a moment to wonder, is the treasure real, or is it just a story meant to keep Austin weird? Either way, it's a tale that reminds us of the rich, strange history hidden in plain sight. Until next time, keep digging for the truth, but don't lose yourself in the search. Thanks for listening to Texas Marks the Spot.